Yeah, hi all. I'm Mike Reaves. I'm the CEO and co-founder of CashBet. Thank you for joining me today in this webinar. I've got a number of questions that have been submitted by various people, and I'm going to run you through a quick presentation first off to give you an update on where we are with the project, and then I'm going to go ahead and answer a number of the questions that I have right here. So CashBet is building the world's most complete blockchain-powered iGaming platform. And what does that mean? An iGaming platform is one where games are played where a payment of stake is made by the player. And that includes things like virtual sports or casino-style gaming or social casino. It can include skill-based wagering. And in fact, CashBet dabbles and provides solutions for all of these. The problems that we're aiming to solve in the blockchain world are ones around trust. Crypto casinos currently lack any significant regulation. CashBet is regulated by the most highly respected authorities in the online gaming world. Speed, a lot of times transactions on the blockchain can be slow, making blockchain wagering impractical. Our Crypto Go solution intends to fix that. Cost, the transactions that are made on blockchain right now can particularly be burdensome. Ethereum blockchain gas costs, depending on the state of the network, can be very high. You know, maybe up to 5–10% of transaction fees. And content, there's currently no game distribution system available for the crypto casino industry, and Crypto RGS intends to solve that. And then access. There are simply hundreds of millions of players in regions of the world that demand access to world-class entertainment. We can reach them with the CashBet solution. So this is an overview of who the key stakeholders are in this business. And these key stakeholders are players, players who play our games and enjoy the VIP perks that we have. There are token holders, and these are people that have bought the CBC token on cryptocurrency exchanges and are able to freely trade them or hold them. And there are partners, and these are partners who provide us with content, who pay our platform and licensing fees, or who use our platform to operate. Okay. So what is the platform? The platform was developed over the last 5 years by myself and my team of iGaming industry veterans. It's the third platform that the team has built. George Weinberg and I started this company back in 2012. We had come, we've worked together for a long time, but we had built the CyberArts platform back in 2009. They were the first company to go live into Italy under the Gioco Digitale brand for poker. We worked for several state lotteries and lotteries around the world, introduced poker, bingo, and casino games into places like Hrvatska Lutria, the Croatian National Lottery, Olafea, the Lithuanian National Lottery, worked on poker for Français des Jeux, the French National Lottery. Anyway, that company was sold in 2012. George and I went to work for US Digital Gaming for a small stint, and then we founded CashBet in December of 2012. And built this platform from the ground up to really be a mobile-first responsive platform. And it's got a number of features that are vertically integrated, including things like geo-verification, player segmentation. There's a marketing automation component. We do acquisition optimization. So ultimately, what we're talking about in the businesses that we empower are real B2C offerings where you're trying to minimize that cost per acquisition and maximize the lifetime value per player. And there's a lot of advanced anti-fraud detection in the system as well. So it's a full-featured operating system. It's up, it's running. It's currently running about a half a dozen different brands in the UK, and it's running the WinView game here in the United States with about 200,000 players. In fact, on Thursday, I think we've got our first preseason games. And WinView, WinViewGames.com or WinView.tv will be running on our platform and will allow you to go ahead and place bets in 36 states in the United States on the football contests that are happening here on Thursday. Anyway, we support a variety of different games, from Real Money Casino, which we've been operational with for the past almost 5 years. Social games, we operate a casino called Imperial Casino. Actually, they operate the casino based on the CashBet platform. Skill-based gaming, I talked about WinView. Esports and sports betting are aspirational, but I will say that we're in discussions right now with a major sports betting brand, which is going to bring sports betting onto the CashBet platform and onto a number of the different brands that we operate. So that's coming soon. We're like I said, in discussions right now to bring that content onto the platform. If you look at this, we're basically talking about the different licensed games that we have available on the platform right now. I think we've got about 450 different games that are currently operational, and those can be seen on jennyvegas.com, on atomiccasino.com, on Casino Cash app in the UK iTunes store. These games, have gone through a third-party compliance testing process, and they're operational right now, and we are taking wagers in pound sterling and in the US dollars. We are in the process of integrating with both Pragmatic Play and GreenTube Novomatic, both of which we have signed deals with. That will bring a ton of tier 1 content to the platform, and those will be available fairly soon. Where the Pragmatic Play integration is actually starting in the next week or so. Mid-August is when we're beginning that integration. The GreenTube integration is a little bit more complex. It involves both us taking content from GreenTube and GreenTube taking CBC as a payment method. We anticipate that integration will be completed. The payment integration will likely be completed right around November. It begins, I know, in October. We're going to try to speed up the content integration if we can in front of that. We are currently licensed for online gambling operation with the Albany Gambling Control Commission. We have both B2B and B2C licenses, which allow us to go ahead and interact directly with consumers, as well as to provide a B2B platform technology out to different operators who want to operate online gaming in various regions around the world where it's legal to do so. We're licensed by the UK Gambling Control Commission. We're licensed as a remote casino operator. We're also licensed as a remote casino software developer. Last week, as some of you know, I was on the Isle of Man in front of the Gambling Supervision Commission. They held a hearing on the 26th of July, and we were given approval for a license to use cryptocurrency. And in fact, some of the questions are around, when are you going to use CBC for deposit and wager? And I can tell you the first step here is to obtain the license in order to do so. Once we have that license, we'll go ahead and make sure that the platform is updated to allow for cryptocurrency wagering, and then we'll begin deposit and wager with CBC. I'll talk a little bit more about that when I begin to answer some of the questions, but the first step here is appearing, actually this has been in process for about a year or so. These licenses are not easy to get. The Isle of Man is a very serious and rigorous gaming jurisdiction. PokerStars is licensed out of the Isle of Man, as are a number of very major operators. We also submitted a license application to Lottery Inspection, and they are the Swedish regulator. Sweden will begin regulated online gambling on January 1st of 2018. We submitted our application on day one of the application window, so we anticipate being able to go live in the first day. And so this is in process, and these gambling licenses are incredibly important because what they show is that the system itself has enough integrity to pass a third-party compliance process. It shows that the governmental regulatory bodies that are responsible for allowing online gambling to take place have faith in the people that are operating these games, namely me and my executive staff, as well as the software that we provide, that it's done so in a fair way, that it's done so in a way that doesn't allow the criminal element to have any effect on gambling, and it's done so in a way that protects those that are at risk, those people who may have gambling problems, the young. So we have a tremendous amount of respect for the regulatory processes, and ultimately we think that this is what's going to go ahead and really drive value in our company. And I just want to hammer this point home, because people are asking, why licenses? Why don't you just get live? We have a motto here at the company, and the motto is don't go to jail. So we're not going to do anything that puts anyone here at risk. We're not going to do anything that's illegal, and we're going ahead and building a crypto gaming organization, which allows it to be done in a way that is that's congruent with the licensing practices, and those really involve things like anti-money laundering, and make sure that that drug traffickers and terrorists and things like that aren't actually taking advantage of the platform to launder money. And we have to be careful about this, and so that's what we're doing, and that's why the gambling licenses are important. Talking about the suite of crypto solutions that we have right now, the CBC VIP program has been launched on jennyvegas.com and atomiccasino.co.uk. And what that allows is for players that come in and stake a certain amount of CBC, that they will be able to receive additional rewards, and those rewards include things like loss insurance on the casino, where it will pay back a certain percentage of your losses to the player if they hold CBC and agree to stake it for some time period, and include things like better deposit-based bonuses. You can expect this program to expand significantly. We're right now working on a number of different changes to the token mechanic, which allow us to go ahead and really make holding and staking your wagers with CBC much more valuable. And so there will be a set of exclusive perks that are going to become available both for holders of tokens as well as for those players who stake CBC on the Jenny Vegas or Atomic Casino sites, and we'll be announcing those likely when we go live with the next version of the platform, which will be around the end of September, I believe. We've currently also got live a product called CoinD, which is essentially a full node running on the blockchain, and this allows us to go ahead and interact with our smart contract. It allows us to go ahead and time lock CBC tokens. It allows the player to extend the length of the time locks. It allows the operator to unlock tokens, and so this is available right now. It's a platform component that we plan to license to operators, and we're using it right now to manage the VIP program for Jenny Vegas. So I've got an asterisk next to crypto pay here. The reason is we're not sure what we're going to call it. We may call it CB Pay. We might call it CBC Pay. But basically, it's an API-based solution for the gaming industry to allow us to go ahead and manage deposits and withdrawals, balance updates, and transactional payment processing with CBC and potentially other cryptocurrencies as well through a standard payment integration API. And this is what the gaming industry right now, gaming operators, what they do is they aggregate two things. They aggregate content and they aggregate payment providers. And so what CB Pay or crypto pay is meant to do is become a payment provider for the crypto industry to support cryptocurrency payments. And that is that software is actively being developed. The API specification has been completed. It's been handed off to our partners. They're working on the integration right now, and we're working hard on this. Crypto RGS is the first game aggregation system for the crypto casino industry, and Crypto RGS is currently, the RGS component of this is right now in third-party compliance testing. So we have, excuse me, we have the core of the remote game server done and going through a testing process. The first game on this is called Mandarin Orchid. The game development studio that we're partnered with for this game is a company called SGT. They're a slot provider out of the UK, and we've got our first partner. It's a company called Solid Gaming, who are a branch of Vera and John, who are a European operator, and I think Solid focuses more on the Asian markets. So at some point in the near future, we can expect to see Crypto RGS deployed, and the first games deployed through it to the Solid Gaming operator. So that I'll update people as that happens, but it's very exciting. And then lastly, we're working on Crypto Go, which is a state channel based solution, allows us to go ahead and open a direct state channel between the player and the operator, and it will process wagers off chain so that we don't incur gas fees, and we don't have the long transaction times associated with blockchain transactions. We anticipate this coming out in the first half of next year, and we're actively working on these things right now. So just a recap of where we are. The CBC VIP program was launched, I believe it was launched actually in Q2. It's on jennyvegas.com. It's also on atomiccasino.co.uk. It allows players to earn rewards for their tokens, and it has exclusive VIP tiers, which we will expand. If you look at the upcoming integrations for CBC Pay, for CB Pay, Crypto Pay, we're not sure what we're calling it. I'm sorry, the marketing team and the product marketing team have to make a judgment call on this. But this is going to allow players to make deposits and wagers in CBC, and that'll happen on Jenny Vegas, we believe, right at the end of September of 2018. So it's being worked on right now. The first step is to make sure we get those license papers in hand. The second part is to launch the software with the Crypto Pay component enabled, and we are on track to do that around the end of September. We anticipate having those licenses any day now, and there's quite a bit of testing that needs to take place for this. So we're talking about 6 to 8 weeks from now we should be live with this. Soon after, we'll have Atomic Casino updated with CB Pay. That'll involve a rebrand of the Atomic Casino site as well. You can look for some additional brands to be going live as well that I don't have listed on here. And then in November 2018, we anticipate that the Game Twist integration will be complete. Game Twist currently has 4 million or so monthly active uniques worldwide, and they're actively looking for partners in Asia and the US. This is a social gaming site which is going to use CB Crypto Pay, and it will go live, like I said, in November. We're beginning the integration there in October. Why is it taking so long? Because they're a big company. They did 5.1 billion euros in revenue last year. They're completely excited and aligned with us. We're moving forward with them. I talked to the number 2 guy, the CFO at Novomatic yesterday. He's on holiday in Europe, and we had a great conversation, and things are moving forward there. So that's all happening. In Q3, we will launch Crypto RGS. As I said, it's in compliance testing right now. The pragmatic play content will be integrated in Q3, and I expect GreenTube, the integration, to begin in Q3. I'm not sure we're going to complete it in Q3. In Q4, we will launch the first CBC. Actually, we're going to launch the first. We'll launch the first CBC enabled games, I think, in Q4. I think initially the game that's going to be going out on Crypto RGS will not be denominated with CBC, although it's available as a currency. But I don't think it'll be until probably Q4 that we actually see CBC play on these games. And after that, we anticipate rolling out 2 titles per quarter, which are crypto-enabled titles. And so those will be ramping up. We've got a game development studio that we're working with right now, and we're actively, we're partnering with several, but we've got one that we're building sort of in-house games for. We're actively looking for more game integration partners there, and we're pretty excited about what it is we're doing. You can see on the screen here some of the games that are being launched. This is the Imperial Play app, which is a steampunk themed social casino. We've got some jackpot games that will be coming up, and some really exciting stuff. I can tell you that the we've got some very exciting new titles coming out that are specifically crypto games. And I think what I'm going to do after this is we'll probably take some screenshots of these things, show you where we are with the development, and maybe post them out to the Telegram site. In Q1 2019, we'll, and hopefully before then actually, we're going to launch our Provably Fair interface, which is going to be significantly different than the ones that you see out there. It'll be, what I see right now is stuff that I'd call provably consistent, and we're launching an interface I think that's going to bring this to the next level. CryptoGo is our off-chain transaction processing system where we'll have the ability to go ahead and open up a channel directly between the player and the operator. So at this point, I am going to stop sharing my screen, start my video, and I'm going to answer as many of your questions as I can because there's a ton of them. Let's see here. Okay, so hello. So let's see. I have printed out in front of me a bunch of questions that got submitted through Telegram. I'm going to go through these as much as I can, and I'm going to look at the ones that were submitted just recently. So first off, I see for utility, if I place a bet with CashBet Coin and win, do you pay me out in CashBet Coin? Yes, absolutely. In fact, we're I mentioned the importance of licensing, and one of the things that we have to do is we use the same payment method to pay out that we take deposits in on, and we use the same currency typically to pay out that the wager was made on, and that's a typical anti-money laundering regulation that is in place by various gaming jurisdictions, and we have to abide by it. Where do the CashBet coins you pay out come from? Have you got free CashBet coins to pay out winning bets? So we withheld a number of the tokens from the token sale to go ahead and bank the casino. A casino has a what we call a capitalization requirement, and that means that we have to have on hand enough money to go ahead and pay our debts. It's interesting that the capitalization requirement for a casino is 100%, meaning that we have to have all the money that we have on deposit from players immediately available to pay back. And we have to have reserve amounts in the case where people win jackpots. The way a casino works is that we have a house edge. You as a player have a great entertainment experience and the ability to win a large sum of money, in fact, life-changing money in some of these jackpot games. But on average, we take between 5 and 10% of every wager that comes through, and that's how we stay in business. We've withheld a portion of the CashBet coins to be able to go ahead and bank the casino, but we anticipate that over time we will win 5 to 10% of the wagers coming through, and so that CBC that we pull in will basically come out of circulation and be sitting here in a bank to pay out jackpots. So next question: when will CBC in use? Where can I play and win cash with CBC? So as I mentioned, the first games to launch using CBC for deposit and wager will be right around the end of September, and that's going to be on jennyvegas.com. 3, why do you keep getting licenses instead of places to spend CBC? Good question. And I hope I answer this for everybody. The reason we're getting licenses is because we're a white hat, above board online gambling site. We are a company that is building a tremendous amount of enterprise value and putting in place a great experience for the users. And in order to do so, we have to have a regulatory framework under which we work. And that regulatory framework embodies trust, both from the players and on behalf of governments and jurisdictions. We pay our taxes. We're good corporate citizens. The reason that we do this is, it's simple. We think the best experiences for gaming are regulated experiences. If you go to a casino in Macau or Las Vegas, these are regulated casinos, and you know that the experience there is going to be fair. We can provide provably fair interfaces, and ultimately you have the ability to go ahead and mathematically determine that the results are fair. But but that regulatory blessing that we have, we think will ultimately drive more player adoption, which is going to drive more crypto usage. We are trying to go ahead and provide an experience that's really going to legitimize the use of cryptocurrency, and technology businesses, have often been driven by the gambling world and by other entertainment, vice industry sort of applications over the years, and we feel ultimately that the crypto and blockchain usage is going to be driven by these sorts of entertainment prospects. And so, why do we keep getting licenses? Because we want to provide the best experience, we want to attract the most players, and we want to have a business that we're growing in enterprise value. I think the best thing that I can do to go ahead and raise the value of CBC over time is to build a business that's sustainable and profitable and making money and is strong. And if we do that, I think that everyone is better off in the end. Okay, next question. Are you planning to develop CashBet branded betting apps? Absolutely. We currently have a number of casinos that are running. The two brands that we operate and own are Jenny Vegas and AtomicCasino.co.uk. If you go to cashbet.com, you'll see the other brands that we operate or provide platform services for. And there will be additional brands that are signing up. We're in final term sheet negotiations with a number of different platform operators. Operators right now to use our platform. And in terms of sports betting specifically, we're talking to what I consider to be the two top tier online sports betting providers, and we will be integrating their content into the CashBet casinos in the very near future. Next question: are there any upcoming deals tied to main events in football, such as Champions League or any tournaments, for the sake of usability? The WinView app currently ties a second screen in-play experience to wagering. It's available here in the US. I would encourage you, if you're a US resident, to pull the WinView game down from the App Store and use it to wager. You can do it right now in 36 states. It's really cool. There's close to 250,000 players on it right now, and you can win real money. So the answer there is yes, and we will tie more marketing promotions to football events, Champions League, that sort of stuff in the future. Okay. Next question. These are the hard ones. What have you done to improve CBC price? So, I can tell you that that we're all concerned about the price, and I take very seriously the fact that so many of you supported us and put money into this ICO so that we can build the product and the company that we're building right now, and I appreciate that. But I don't have much control over the prices it trades on a free in a free market. And I'd note that if you look at the industry as a whole, we're sort of in a crypto winter right now. I can tell you for a fact that no CashBet employees have been granted tokens, or have received any tokens at this point. They've been granted tokens, but they're on an 18-month earn out for these tokens, and there's a lockup period which is not yet expired. So no one has any tokens. I have not sold any tokens. No employee of this company has sold any tokens at this point. But what we're doing to go ahead and improve the price, and we're concerned about it. We are doing things because we think that ultimately it's low. We are going to be providing additional capability within the token mechanic to make the token valuable for those people that hold it, and for those people that come to the site and stake it for wagering. So it's ultimately going to provide some additional long-term value. We'll be announcing that at some point in the near future once we've got it worked out. The issue here is that we don't want to do anything that's going to deem the token to be a security. We think the token has good utility right now. We've got legal opinions from a number of different law firms, and we've got agreement from a number of different exchanges right now that the token is a utility, and we don't have to we don't want to worry about that categorization moving to security. If it does, we run the risk of being delisted, and that's not going to help anyone. The second thing that we're doing is we're working right now with really some very large exchanges. You know who they are. Binance is pending right now, and we're working behind the scenes to try to get listed on Binance. We think it's very important to go ahead and do so. And we do have, the application has been submitted. So I can't tell you when they're going to process the application, but I can tell you that it's top of our radar. And then the third thing that we're doing is more PR and marketing. We're going to be announcing some additional relationships that we have with organizations around the world that make holding the token more valuable, and giving away things of value and prizes and things like that for people who hold the token for some period of time. So all those things are happening. Next question, what's the status of the Binance application? I think I just answered that, so I'm going to skip it. Third question on token price and exchanges. In retrospect, do you think CBC was put on exchanges too early given limited use for it at the moment? I would say that we put our exchange applications out there at the end of the token sale, and we don't really have a tremendous amount of ability to change those dates too much. I do feel that having liquidity in the token is important. It's important for investors. It's important for the company. It's an important prerequisite to be able to use it to deposit and wager. So, I think I don't think it was put on too early. I know that we're only about a month and a half or so into the listing, and it's not a lot of time. And I think in another 6 weeks we'll have much more utility for CBC. So I'm hopeful that we're going to see usage on the Jenny Vegas and Atomic Casino sites for wagering, and soon the other partner sites that are integrated. And I think that we have to have liquidity on exchanges in order to go ahead and make that come to fruition. And these things have to happen in order. So having a listing on exchanges first, and the ability to use it as second. If we had the ability to use the token before it was on exchanges, it wouldn't be useful to anyone. And we can move as fast as we can to get these things done. And I would say be patient for those who want to use it. We are a real company. We're not going anywhere, and we're putting in place an excellent experience for CBC users. So questions around product strategy roadmap. How do we aim to compete with likes of Betfair, Ladbrokes, Bet365? Simple. We aggregate content like they do. We've currently got a number of different casino games that are live. We're very close to putting out a virtual sports set of virtual sports games. Those are going to come out in the next few weeks or so. They're through our Quickfire integration with Mike Reaves. And those are very popular in Europe. We're adding in a sports wagering feature, which I mentioned, and we're also adding in some live dealer capability. So on the content side, I think that we're going to have some better integrations, in fact, than these guys, because if you look at GreenTube, they're not out on very many online operator platforms besides their own. And so I think that content is really tier one, sort of top 25 games in the world, and that's going to help tremendously. Secondly, our utility with CBC, I think, helps tremendously. None of these guys have it, and the ability to provide an experience for a player to potentially win a cryptocurrency jackpot is one that is very enticing, and I think is going to attract a new class of player. There are several 100 million online wallets in the online gambling world right now. And there are only something like 20 to 25 million total cryptocurrency users in the world. So if we can crack this code and provide a great experience and provide the ability for someone who is crypto curious to obtain a cryptocurrency jackpot, I think that we've got an ability to attract and retain a whole new class of players at a very low acquisition cost. And the metrics of that business are really exciting, and I think that puts us on a very, very good competitive grounding with companies like Bet365. Okay. All right, next question. I understand you'll be running apps on the Ethereum blockchain. If so, how you address this limitation in terms of TPS transactions per second? So we're we have an off-chain ledger, and we process deposits and withdrawals on the Ethereum blockchain. So we're not processing every single bet or every single wager on public blockchain. We can't. We don't think it's scalable enough right now, and we have to be able to handle 500 wagers per second or more, and we're not seeing that on Ethereum. Does that mean we're going to move to another blockchain at some point in the future? Maybe. I don't have enough information, and really my technical team is going to have to answer that. Let's see. Next question. In order to be confident as an investor, do you think your CBC team will be able to complete the defined levels within the defined time frames and within the defined budgets for 2018? Yeah, absolutely. We're on track, and we've got a great team. We've added in some really great advisors and team members recently. We don't make an announcement out about every team member, but we've added guys like Dan Phillips, who was a well-known executive for Playtech, for Chartwell Gaming in the UK. He's coming on, helping us out with business development. Matteo Monteverde, who was an executive with G-Tech, with Lottomatica, and helped to engineer the I think it was a $6 billion sale of IGT to G-Tech. He's on our advisory board. So we've got a fantastic team. Charlie Shrem has joined us recently on the blockchain world, and I'm not even talking about the people that are actually salaried employees working here. We've got a very good and very motivated team. All these team members are incentivized through tokens, and they know that they have to get that token price up, and so we're working hard to go ahead and do so. Okay, how passionate is the team about what you're setting out to achieve for the rest of the year and beyond by focusing on first half of 2019? We only hire people that are passionate. I make it a point to interview every single employee here, and I want folks on board that agree with the journey that we're undertaking as a company, and who are completely aligned with us. And so to that extent, all of our employees are option employees. They're granted CBC, and we work very hard and very late into the night to make sure that that we get stuff done here. We've got a fantastic team, and I'm really happy with them and very proud of them. Let's see, are there any unaddressed concerns within the project? And if so, when are you going to share them with investors? Okay, so there are risks in this business. There's execution risk. Are we going to get done what we say we're going to get done? And are we going to get it done on time? I can tell you that we're trying like hell, and I've been in the online gambling business for the past 10, 11 years, and I've been in software development for 25 years. And we've got folks on the team here from companies like IGT, from Ultimate Gaming, from companies like Playtech, who have a strong track record of execution. So I think the execution risk is minimal. We have licensing risk. Are we going to run into problems with the UK Gambling Commission? Are we going to run into problems with any of the other regulators? I hope not. We're asked regularly to provide input and to provide opinion by them to how we resolve the AML and KYC issues around surrounding cryptocurrency. This is a new industry, and we're being asked by these gambling commissions to provide our input and to provide what we deem to be the best practices. And so we've written very, very long and detailed documents on how we address these issues and how we intend to address these issues in the future within the confines of the regulatory environment. And so, in that regard, we're being relied upon by gambling jurisdictions as a resource, and we want to continue to do that. I don't have any concerns. I sleep well at night. The company is on solid footing. We are moving forward according to our plans, and I think the best that I can do for our token purchasers and our investors is to make sure that the company addresses all of the operational and executional challenges ahead of it in a way that builds enterprise value and builds token value, and that's how we measure everything in this company. Do we build value for the token, and are we building value for the enterprise in anything that we undertake? And if the answer is yes, then we go ahead and do it. Okay, so you got some questions about marketing. When is rigorous marketing starting? We're doing acquisition marketing right now on Facebook for the Jenny Vegas brand, and in terms of coin marketing, we've done some marketing typically targeted to the Asian markets, which are extremely enthusiastic about cryptocurrency trading, but we don't want to put a lot of money into marketing until we've really got the additional exchange listings in place, particularly Binance, and we've made some modifications to the token mechanic to ensure that there's long-term value for holders. Once that's done, we'll put more money into marketing and do so in a way that's strategic and smart and aligns with the brand and the acquisition strategy that we have on our B2C sites as well. How long was the contract you signed with Arsenal, and why didn't it continue after you raised $30 million? So the contract with Arsenal expired at the end of the football season in June, and football is starting up here very shortly again. And I can tell you that we are actively looking for a sports sponsorship. And why didn't Arsenal continue? Arsenal is very expensive, and although we think it was a great partnership to drive brand awareness for us, we think that we can spend the marketing dollars that would go into sponsorship in a way that provides the same or better value for the cost. So it's simply an issue of cost benefit, and I love Arsenal, go Gunners, and I want to make sure that we do have these sorts of sponsorships in place. And I can tell you that our marketing team and PR team are actively looking for additional sponsorships. So let me see what other questions we have, because I've got another few minutes here. Let's see. Okay, lots of questions. Q&A. Okay. What benefit will sponsoring Arsenal do for CashBet, and what effect does it have on the coin price? Okay, so I kind of just answered that. I think Arsenal both promoted the brand, it promoted awareness of the ICO, and it actually had a spillover effect into acquisition marketing on the B2C side, and that's what we intend to have happen. So, okay, let's see. What is crypto RGS? I'll answer that one quickly. Crypto RGS. RGS stands for Remote Game Server. It's an industry standard platform that is used to go ahead and provide content through a single B2B integration with an operator. So we're a platform provider. We contract with operators on the B2B side. And these operators are companies like William Hill or Sky Vegas or Ladbrokes or Paddy Power, and they're looking for content to put on their sites. We have that content in Crypto RGS. We do a single integration, and we can provide them with all the games that we have integrated into our site. That's what Crypto RGS is, and we anticipate that that's going to be accretive to revenue as soon as Q4 of this year. Let's see. Martin asks, had any feedback from third-party game providers? NetEnt, Icon, would assume they would be keen. Yeah, Martin, we're talking to a number of third-party game content providers right now. Our primary partner there is Micro Gaming and GreenTube, and we've just signed with Pragmatic. And in order for us to go ahead and provide content out to these guys, we really have to have a critical mass. We're developing that critical mass through Crypto RGS right now, through working with smaller independent game studios to integrate content into Crypto RGS. Once we have a critical mass of games, we will absolutely go after those aggregators and we will provide them. And I completely agree. They're going to be keen to take our content in. It's we've got very experienced and world-class content developers working with us, and that's something that is planned to contribute to revenue in the next year. Okay. What are the projections for the next 3 years? Is Spade a competitor to you? Asked John. The projections for the next 3 years are that we're going to, I'm not going to go into the actual financial projections if that's what you're looking for, John. But, I can tell you that we are substantially growing revenue on both the B2C side and the B2B side. Right now, we have B2C business up and running. It's substantial. Our B2B business is a little bit smaller, but we anticipate really growing that B2C business. We think that's going to about triple in size this year, and we think it'll do so again next year. And we're going to use the proceeds of that to continue to fund the B2B businesses, in particular Crypto RGS and the platform business. Let's see. Gabriel asks, will your CBC be used in a casino? Okay. Will your CBC used in casino have better privileges compared to actual casino chips? Currently, we're not looking at any land-based integrations, if that's what you're asking, Gabriel. We have been approached by a couple of different land-based operators, but it's typically been to take their content and move it online into jurisdictions where we're not yet operating, such as Latin America. Those conversations are going on right now. Should we actually do a deal in a casino where we'd use CBC? I would say yes. We'd look at providing some sort of VIP experience to those players as well. We always want to go ahead and make sure that there is additional value in holding CBC in addition to the utility value, which will make it more valuable, we believe, over time. Okay. Rob asks, hi, Mike, thanks for the update. Give some color on how much adoption of CBC there's been, broken down by amount CBC staked in games. I would say that right now, Rob, it's been, it's just launched and there hasn't been a lot. There have been a number of people that have tried it out, but what we found in the last 2 months of operation or so is that we really need to ramp up those VIP benefits that we're going to be providing to stakers, people that stake wagers on our casino sites, and that's happening right now. We've got a great casino manager that was hired from the Atlantic City, New Jersey area to come on board and manage the B2C operation, and he's helping us right now with putting together a program for that. And you're going to see that get launched on Jenny Vegas first, probably in the next few weeks or so. Okay. Rob asks, follow-up, does accepting cryptocurrency mean accepting CBC, or is it non-exclusive and therefore CryptoPay could accept Bitcoin, Ethereum, other currencies? Thanks. Obviously, Rob, we have a vested interest in making sure that CBC is used for deposit, for wager, for gameplay, and so that's first and foremost, that's a priority. But CryptoPay is not something that's being built with an exclusive architecture for CBC, and there's been discussion internally as to whether or not we could potentially use other cryptocurrencies. And the fact of the matter is that probably over time we will, as long as it's not dilutive to the value of CBC and it makes sense for the enterprise value of the company, we will do so. Okay. Martin asks, so you're worried about the current climate and regulation from bodies such as the UKGC? Do you feel the sector will become more regulated in the future? How will this impact CashBet? I'm not worried, Martin. We're working very closely with the UK Gambling Control Commission, and we have, and maybe I'll post them out, but there's an opinion that's been put out by the UKGC recently that's basically said, look, cryptocurrency is a valid form of payment as long as AML and KYC procedures remain in place. So the UK Gambling Commission is not against it. The Isle of Man became the first tier 1 regulatory body last year to go ahead and provide an AML and KYC framework for the use of cryptocurrency in real money wagering, and that's why we went with the Isle of Man. Since then, Gibraltar on January 1st adopted some regulation that allowed their operators to use cryptocurrency, and Malta entered into a comment period in the beginning of January to begin to review and draft legislation for the use of cryptocurrency in wagering. So I think that what's happening, and by the way, we're licensed by the AGCC, the Alderney Gambling Control Commission. We've been having discussions with them about it too. So I think that they're probably, in all likelihood, going to adopt legislation that allows the use of cryptocurrency. So I think, if anything, we're becoming more liberal in the use of crypto. And as long as the AML and KYC frameworks are adhered to, I don't perceive any risk. I mean, the risks that we have right now, I think, really pertain to the bad actors, and those are the people that allow illegal online gambling to take place, that don't adopt good AML procedures, and therefore contribute to the financing of drug traffickers and terrorists. And we do not want to be in that position, and we want to actively promote what we're doing as the right way to go about this, because we feel that ultimately those regulations are in place for a damn good reason, and we feel strongly about that. And we also feel strongly that a regulated operation is one that grows as the market grows. We know for a fact that if you look at if you look at things, if you look at Spain, if you look at France, if you look at Italy, if you look at the UK, as those markets have become regulated, the growth of that market accelerates once that regulation has taken place. It doesn't slow down. So we want to play in regulated markets, and we want to be a thought leader for the gambling commissions to rely upon to provide the best practices, and we're doing that right now. Okay, what is crypto RGS? Okay, Khalil, I answered that already. Remote game server. Binance, just plan sure to list. Yes, when Binance, as soon as we can. Okay, let's see. Will you be holding any conferences in the UK? I'm in Northern Ireland, and crypto is rarely mentioned over here. Yeah, hi Gary, thanks for that. We're, the next crypto conference, I think the gaming conference where I'm talking about crypto is going to be in September at the EGR Power 50 in Miami. I'll then be at G2E in Las Vegas, so I invite anybody to come and visit me there. I'm definitely attending ICE in London in the first week of February. I'm not sure what else that we're doing beyond those, but we're definitely interested in crypto conferences, especially as they pertain to gaming. We want to maintain thought leadership in this area. Thanks for the question. Let's see. Oliemi asks, can we use CBC to bet on real sports in the near future? For example, Champions League. Yeah, I answered that already, Oliemi, and basically the answer is yes. We're working right now with some partners to go ahead and enable sports wagering on the sites that we empower. And in the U.S., you can already do this with WinView. Okay, John asks, he says, thanks for answering. Cheers. Thank you, John. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that I have, any other questions I need to follow up on. I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to say, thank you all. I would ask you to just take a careful look. We're here to stay. We're here for the long run. CashBet is working very hard to go ahead and build a sustainable company. We've been around for 5 years. We intend to be around for a lot longer than this, and we believe that we're building value in everything that we do. If you have any more questions, please pose them to our Telegram channel. You can also get in touch with me through info@cashbet.com. Thank you very much. Take care, everybody.